You know the feeling, right? You're scrolling through job postings, just kind of dreaming about that next big career move. And then it happens. The offer comes through, and it is just one of the most exciting moments you can have in your professional life. So you see it right there in your inbox. The subject line just says, job offer. And your heart starts absolutely pounding. I mean, this is it. It's the role you wanted in that city you've always talked about moving to. This isn't just a new job, right? It feels like a whole new chapter, a major life upgrade. And then you scroll down and you see the number.
A 10% raise. Wow, it feels substantial. You immediately start doing that mental math, don't you? Thinking about more money for savings, for that trip you've been putting off, for finally getting a nicer apartment. It feels like a clear, undeniable win. You're basically ready to sign on the dotted line.
But wait, just hold on a second. What if that shiny 10% raise is actually an illusion? What if the real math tells a completely different story? A story where you could actually end up with less money in your pocket at the end of the year. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
Okay, Section 1, the relocation reality check. It is time to pull back the curtain on that big, flashy salary number and really look at all the hidden costs that come with moving for a new job. This is where the simple math starts to get a lot more complicated.
And you know, this quote just frames the problem perfectly. That headline number, your 10% raise, it's incredibly seductive. But the fine print here isn't some clause buried in your contract. Now, it's all the unlisted, real-world expenses of completely uprooting your life.
First up, you've got these immediate financial hits. These are the one-time costs that can just absolutely drain your savings before you even see a dime of that new salary. Seriously, think about it. We're talking thousands for movers, first and last month's rent plus a security deposit, fees just to get the lights and internet turned on, and maybe even a hefty penalty for breaking your current lease. It adds up, and man, it adds up fast.
And then there's the second, much sneakier problem, the recurring drains. These are the costs that chip away at your new salary every single month. Maybe your rent is way higher. Groceries cost more. Or, hey, maybe you move from a state with no income tax to one that has a pretty big one. Your commute could now be longer and way more expensive. All these little things are quietly eating away at that 10% raise, month after month after month.
And this chart right here, this shows the whole story. That first bar, that's your annual salary gain, that exciting 10%. But now, look at that second bar. That represents the total first-year cost when you combine all those one-time hits and the new recurring expenses. And in a lot of cases, especially if you're moving to a major city, that cost bar can completely dwarf the gain. You could accept a raise that actually puts you in a financial hole for the entire first year.
All right, Section 2, running the real numbers. So how do you avoid this trap? Well, you stop getting mesmerized by the headline number, and you start building your own personal balance sheet for the offer. It's time to run the real numbers.
You know, the process is actually pretty simple. It really just breaks down into 4 steps. Step 1, you calculate your total annual salary gain. That's the easy part. Step 2, you've got to do your homework and sum up all your one-time relocation costs. Step 3, estimate the annual increase in your recurring costs. We're talking rent, taxes, all of it. And finally, the most important step of all, you subtract your total costs from your gain.
Let's look at a really clear example. Okay, so you get a $10,000 raise. Fantastic. But after doing the research, you realize your one-time moving costs are going to be around $8,000. Ouch. And the higher cost of living and new taxes? Well, that's going to add another $5,000 per year to your expenses. So when you do the math, and you can see it right here in the table, you end up with a net impact of negative $3,000 in your first year. You have literally paid to take this new, supposedly higher-paying job.
Okay, Section 3, the smarter career move. Once you understand this math, it leads to a completely new framework for how you evaluate job offers. It's all about being smarter, way more strategic, and focusing on what truly matters for your financial future.
The key concept, the thing you have to remember, is net financial impact. This is your new North Star. It's not about the salary, it's not the percentage raise, it is the true actual monetary value of an offer after you've subtracted all the costs that come with it. And this right here really illustrates that fundamental shift in thinking. We have to move from asking, how big is the raise, to asking, what's the net financial impact after 1 year? See, the first question is all about ego. The second one is about your actual wealth.
Now, let me be really clear about something. The takeaway here isn't that you should never relocate for a job. Of course not.
Things like career growth, or a better quality of life, or moving to a city you've always loved. Those things can be priceless. The goal is simply to make that decision with your eyes wide open, weighing those awesome benefits against the cold, hard numbers. That way, you can maybe negotiate a better relocation package, or at the very least, be prepared for the actual financial reality of the move.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time an exciting job offer lands in your inbox and you see that big, beautiful salary number, what's the first number you're really going to sit down and calculate?